Jeez! Oh, Brad! You scared the crap out of me.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 worst plot holes in Glee you may not have noticed.
Brittany, it's possible that you may be the most brilliant scientific mind since Albert Einstein.
Number 20. Finn did not audition despite what he said.
She did Grease.
Grease?
Yeah, I know it because the song I auditioned for Glee Club was from Grease, remember?
Yeah.
In the 4th season episode, The Breakup, Finn suggests doing Grease, telling Schu that he auditioned for the Glee Club with a song from Grease. Schu looks at him with proud nostalgia goggles, like, oh yeah, that was a fine day. Only they're both off their rockers. In the pilot, Mr. Schuester heard Finn singing in the locker room shower, fake planted marijuana in his locker, and then blackmailed him into joining the club to avoid detention. So, Finn was literally coerced into the New Directions against his will by a faculty member committing a felony. Maybe that's why Schu didn't say anything. He knew Finn didn't actually audition, he just doesn't want to go to prison.
What I did then was the blackest moment of my life.
Number 19. Brad the piano player.
Brad. He's always just around.
Sorry, but who is this dude? This adult man sits at the piano every single day, with no semblance of a life outside of McKinley, and just kinda waiting for teenagers to sing. He's always just there. The true plot hole, however, is his terrifying psychic ability. A student will run in, announce a mashup they just wrote 5 minutes ago in the hallway, and Brad immediately plays the complex arrangement like, got you fam. How does he know the tempo? How does he know the key change? He never speaks, he never eats, and he never leaves. While the show treats him as furniture, realistically, Brad is either a magical musical entity or a squatter with perfect pitch who the school board simply forgot to fire for loitering around minors.
Maybe the only way she could be completely honest is by being anonymous. What if it's that bass player with the bowl cut? Or Brad, the piano player?
Number 18. Brittany suddenly becomes a math genius.
Did you know that dolphins are just gay sharks?
For 3 glorious seasons, Brittany S. Pierce was the lovable ditz who thought dolphins were just gay sharks and didn't know how to read a calendar. She was held back a grade because she literally had a GPA of 0.0, and then she undergoes a character transformation the likes of which we have never seen before. The writers suddenly decided she wasn't dumb. She was actually a secret mathematical genius capable of solving complex equations that baffled MIT professors. Suddenly, she's scribbling all these crazy equations like she's Will Hunting. It was a lazy, overnight personality transplant that completely invalidated her entire character arc just to rush her off to college.
We believe that what we are now calling the Brittany Code.
The Brittany Code.
Will go down in history as the most important scientific breakthrough of the 21st century.
Number 17. The vitamins.
Pseudoephedrine. It's the stuff they put in decongestants to make them non-drowsy. It's kind of like a vitamin.
In the season 1 episode Vitamin D, the New Directions are feeling sluggish, so Terry Schuester prescribes them some vitamins. In reality, she's handing out pseudoephedrine like candy, effectively putting the entire Glee Club on a heavy stimulant regimen. First of all, how did she get these? Sales of these drugs are highly regulated, so there's no way she would be able to get this many boxes. Here's the kicker. The students face zero fallout. They suffer no lasting health effects. None of them develop substance use disorder. Nothing. The entire club recovers from what is essentially a weekend meth binge without so much as a headache. The show treats a major narcotics incident as a quirky one-off gag, proving that at McKinley, even drug use is just a warm-up for regionals.
Has your soul been taken over by caffeinated space aliens?
No, just visited the school. Nurse got this great vitamin. I feel fantastic.
Number 16. Joe and Sugar disappearing into thin air.
7, 8, 9. Are Joe and Sugar here?
Present, Mr. Shu.
Glee had a habit of treating characters like disposable tissues, but the disappearance of Joe Hart and Sugar Mata was egregious. Joe, the dreadlocked teen Jesus, and Sugar, the rich benefactor of the club, were standing members of the New Directions. They were there, occupying chairs and singing background vocals. Then they simply vanished from the face of the earth. There was no graduation scene for them, no casual "I'm moving away" announcement, and no transfer paperwork. They just stopped existing in the Glee universe. course. Yeah, they briefly come back for a final farewell, but we'll never know what really happened because the show just didn't care enough to tell us.
And Mercedes and Tina and Sugar and Mercedes. You guys are all like my sisters. And Mike Chang and Blaine and Jim, you guys are all like my brothers.
My name's Joe.
And Artie.
Number 15, Rachel's dads.
I am not homophobic. In fact, I have 2 gay dads. See, I was born out of love. My 2 dads screened potential surrogates based on beauty and IQ. Then they mixed their sperm together and used a turkey baster. To this day, we don't know which one is my real dad, which I think is pretty amazing.
In the very first episode of the series, Rachel Berry proudly looks at the photos of her and her 2 dads that she has hung in her locker. These are certainly just random actors, and it's obvious that the show had no intention of ever showing them in person. Fast forward to season 3 when we finally meet the dads in person, and they're played by Jeff Goldblum and Brian Stokes Mitchell. While they are both Broadway legends and fantastic in the roles, they are clearly not the same people that we saw in the season 1 photograph. It's a classic case of TV pilots not consulting the future and then stunt casting purely for the ratings.
Dads, what are you doing here?
Well, a little birdie named Bert, who owns a tire store, and his little birdie wife, who used to wear a lot of denim, told us that you guys were fixing to get hitched.
Number 14, Artie is allowed to play football.
That's what I came here to talk to you about. I want on the team too. Every day, Tina and Mike's Asian fusion grows stronger.
In season 2, Artie Abrams joins the football team to boost his popularity, and this is about when viewers started to question their devotion to the show. To be fair, the episode does address this and attempts to explain the mechanics with the suggestion that he will use his wheelchair as a battering ram. While we award points for creativity, this strategy would be an immediate disqualification in literally any real-world league. High school athletic associations have strict rules against hard casts, let alone bringing a 50-pound metal vehicle onto the field to smash into teenagers' shins. Finn said there's no rule against it. No, there definitely is. It was a nice sentiment for inclusion, but practically, it was a lawsuit waiting to happen.
I was pretty sure Artie's legs don't work.
Did you get a leg transplant?
Nope. My teammates can push my chair like a battering ram.
Yep, there's no rules against it. We check.
Number 13, Kurt's car.
Damn, Kurt, this car is fly.
My dad got it for my sweet 16 after I swore to stop wearing form-fitting sweaters that stop at the knee.
In season 1, Kurt Hummel drives a pristine, late-model Lincoln Navigator. While the show paints Burt Hummel as a blue-collar mechanic struggling to compete with big tire chains, the math on his son's car tells a different story. In 2009, a brand new Lincoln Navigator would cost roughly $50,000, maybe even a little more. That's more than a local mechanic in Ohio would make in a year. Yes, Burt owns the shop, but after things like overhead and taxes, he was likely taking home a modest, middle-class income. There's no way this guy is buying his 16-year-old son a luxury SUV that costs more than his entire annual salary. The Hummels are constantly stressing about money, yet there is a tank-sized vehicle in the driveway worth more than the down payment on their house. Number 12. How has Sue not been fired?
How do you manage to stay so skinny?
The Sylvester Master Cleanse.
Water, maple syrup for glucose, lemon for acid, cayenne pepper, irritate the bowels, and a dash of Ipecac, a vomiting agent. I haven't had a solid meal since 1987.
We all love us some Sue Sylvester, but seriously, how has this woman not been fired? For one thing, she is unbelievably mean, often outright taunting students to their faces and manipulating them against each other. She has zero qualms about inducing serious body positivity issues into her cheerleaders. She tries launching Brittany out of a cannon, which would have certainly killed her. She blackmails the principal of the school. But it gets worse. She also pushes people down the stairs, and at one point she even got Brittany to lie about being sexually assaulted by Beast. We mean, come on. Never mind how has Sue not been fired. How is she not in prison?
Show us on the doll where Coach Beast touched you.
Here and here.
Number 11, song censoring.
I want your love. Love, 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 I want your love.
And here we come to the age-old problem of separating in-universe storytelling from real-world limitations. There are countless times throughout the show when the New Directions censor themselves while singing. Why would they do this? It's certainly not a moral obligation because they often use these very same words in conversation. For example, they censor the B word in Bad Romance, yet use that very same word all the freaking time. Or they censor the odd mild swear word but have no problem performing sexually provocative dances and grinding on each other. We know why. It's because these covers were put on iTunes and they didn't want kids downloading songs with swearing in them. But there is no reason whatsoever that this needed to happen in universe.
You know that I want you, and you know that I'm a freak, baby. I want it bad, bad romance.
Number 10, the Glee Club's popularity. Have you ever noticed that the Glee Club's popularity wildly fluctuates from season to season? In A Night of Neglect, the club encounters great resistance when trying to round up people to attend their benefits concert.
Hell, is this even music?
Kiss my ass. You can't take this. I can't take this.
However, back in the first season, they managed to secure a full house for their fall invitational. But it's not just inconsistencies in audience numbers. Reactions to the club dramatically vary as well. Sometimes the club receives cheers and ovations after performing, both on stage and off.
Don't stop doing that! Don't stop doing that! Yes! Yes!
Other times, they are relentlessly heckled or met with great indifference from the students.
We're doing the song this Friday at the pep assembly.
In front of the whole school?
Exactly.
They're gonna throw fruit at us.
It's almost as if it depends entirely on what that episode's specific story entails. Number 9, special education. We can chalk this one up to a simple joke, but it's still an inconsistency, damn it. Way back in the second episode, Sue gives Will a list of McKinley's special education classes so he can find recruits for the Glee Club.
I also took the liberty of highlighting some special ed classes for you. Maybe you could find some recruits. Because I'm not sure there's anybody else who's going to want to swim over to your island of misfit toys.
It's a funny joke that was quickly forgotten. However, Sue later runs for Congress and mentions that there is no special education program at McKinley, contradicting the list she gave to Will.
You know what public school program is the first to go into recession? Special education. There's special needs kids at McKinley, yet there's no special ed classes, no special ed teacher.
Either this was a joke not meant to be taken so seriously, there was never a special ed program and Sue just made it up to annoy Will, or her remark was a false statement made for sympathy. Number 8, Figgins approved songs.
Forever, forever, you'll stay in my heart, and I will love you forever and ever.
In the same episode that Sue gives Will the list of special education classes, Principal Figgins gives Will a list of pre-approved songs that promote family-friendly values, recommended to him by his pastor.
You kids can only perform these pre-approved musical selections.
But all these songs have either Jesus or balloons in the title.
Quinn then performs I Say a Little Prayer with the Cheerios, and the list and the restrictions are never mentioned again. In fact, not only is the list entirely ignored, but the New Directions try to sing religious songs in Grilled Cheeses only for Figgins to deny their right to do so, explicitly contradicting the list he received from his pastor.
Children should be allowed to profess whatever faith they choose.
At the BET Awards, but not in a public school.
We guess he forgot about the family-friendly values? Number 7, Ryder quitting Glee Club. We can chalk the previous entries up to jokes or plot necessities. However, there's simply no forgiving or overlooking this one. In the 4th season finale, All or Nothing, Ryder dramatically mentions that he will be quitting the Glee Club after regionals.
After regionals is over, I'm officially leaving Glee Club. I'm sorry, Mr. Ship.
And wouldn't you know it, he never actually quits. This would obviously be fine if the show explained his character development, but we never received any indication that he had changed his mind, that he left and later returned, or that he made up with Unique. We were just supposed to forget about it and pretend it never happened. And we did. Number 6, Finn's desire to leave Ohio. Another character inconsistency is Finn's deep connections to Ohio. Throughout the early seasons, Finn seems committed to living a simple life in the state.
Bring him along. He'll be great if we need to move anything heavy.
Finn won't come. He's too much of a country boy.
Rachel calls Finn a country boy when discussing life in New York City, and Finn shows contentment working at Bert's auto shop as a laborer.
You know, you're really talented. Talented enough to get into NIADA if you applied.
What if I don't want to? I mean, and not saying that I don't, but to stay here, work for Bert, I mean, would that be so bad?
There seems to be no indication that he desires to leave Lima, or even Ohio. However, in the 3rd season episode The First Time, Finn becomes upset when Cooter doesn't choose him for the Buckeyes, and shows outward disgust at the thought of staying in Lima forever.
I don't understand what any of this means.
It means I suck. It means I'm gonna be stuck here forever. Cooter's not gonna recruit me.
Which is it, Finn? Number 5, Quinn's big plans. Here's a tip for future showrunners. If you have a character say that they have big plans, it's best if you actually go through with them instead of dropping the idea altogether. Near the end of the second season, Quinn ominously tells Finn that she has big plans for their New York trip. And this isn't like a blink and you'll miss it type thing. It's the final foreboding scene that leaves the episode on a cliffhanger.
If I quit Glee Club, my big plans for New York would have been ruined.
What plans?
You'll see.
And while in New York, Quinn does absolutely nothing. Oh, that's not exactly true. She goes for a haircut after opening up to Brittany and Santana.
I just want somebody to love me. I think I know how to make you feel better.
Was that her big plan? Cry and get taken out for a sympathy haircut? Number 4, Kurt and Rachel's finances. Newsflash, living in the heart of New York City is not cheap, even with roommates. Rachel and Kurt live the high life in New York. They live in a killer loft. They begin dressing with impeccable fashion, and they fly back to Ohio like every other weekend. And just where exactly are they getting the money for this? They don't regularly have steady jobs, student loans don't cover that, and we seriously doubt that their parents are giving them $1,800 a month for rent plus living and travel expenses.
This place is enormous! For $1,800 a month, we could get a shoebox in Manhattan or this hangar in Bushwick.
So how exactly did they afford that apartment? TV magic? We'll go with TV magic. Number 3, the Glee Club has no budget. And for that matter, just where the hell is the Glee Club getting their money for all these elaborate showstoppers? A major aspect of the show is that the Glee Club, and McKinley High for that matter, doesn't have any money.
We're barely surviving on the budget we have. Slashing the Glee budget by 10%, cutting our transportation to and from events is like cutting our legs off.
The club often resorts to raising small amounts of money themselves, and McKinley certainly isn't shy about keeping the arts on a shoestring budget. So just where exactly does the club get the funds for all the outfits and costumes, sets, Broadway caliber light rigs, and rain machines? Maybe from the same place that Kurt and Rachel get the money for their Vogue-esque New York lifestyles. Number 2, Quinn's injury.
Good thing is that I'm starting to regain feelings. So with a lot of physical therapy and your prayers, I stand a good chance for full recovery.
In the episode On My Way, Quinn runs a stop sign while texting Rachel. Don't text and drive, kids. And gets into a horrific car accident. She suffers from a badly compressed spine and is then in a wheelchair. The injury is so bad that she has very little feeling in her legs and is uncertain if she will ever walk again, despite her optimism.
Believe it or not, this is the happiest day of my life.
5 episodes later, Quinn is up and about at prom and is back to her normal dancing self with no time at all. We're not doctors here or anything, but it seems like an awfully short time to recover from such a debilitating injury. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Rachel's Broadway dreams. Rachel's dream of becoming a Broadway star is like the key component of her character.
I had it all planned out. I was gonna make it big on Broadway and maybe do a Woody Allen movie.
Besides possibly her obnoxious diva behavior, her passion and ambition towards making it on Broadway is her single defining characteristic. Hell, Finn even calls off their wedding so she can go to New York and become a Broadway star.
You're gonna get on that train, okay? And you're gonna go to New York, and you're gonna be a star. Without me. That's how much I love you.
And while she lands a dream role in Funny Girl, she quickly abandons Broadway for TV, burns her bridges with Broadway producers, and moves back to Ohio.
What am I supposed to do?
Do what everyone who just failed miserably does. Blame everyone else. And then go home.
Sorry, but what? The Rachel of seasons 1 to 4 would never do a thing like that. There's character inconsistency, and then there's simply dropping almost 5 seasons worth of character development for seemingly no reason whatsoever.
For 18 years, I've had one dream. Broadway. Stardom. It was like the wings that kept me hovering above the fray.
Can you think of any more major plot holes? Let us know in the comments.